My name is Russ. I was very lucky in my years on the city council because there were some role models there. Bill Switzer, Mike Sweeney, and Bob Holmes got elected. And we had a really good team that worked well together, and it was a very exciting time in Manhattan Beach. And we were all business people, and so we tried to run it the way we ran our businesses. And it turned out to be very effective. We were involved at the whole development of the Chevron development, where we are right now, and almost. And we negotiated a lot of agreements with Chevron, with TRW, and other people to create the whole Manhattan Village area, the Manhattan Country Club, the hotel next to it, the way you would operate if you were running your own business and owned your own land. For example, the hotel and the country club are on city-owned land, and they pay millions of dollars in leases payments to the city, which helps keep taxes low and services high. And we also found out we were a believer in what I would call the yellow pages concept of doing business. If you can find somebody in the yellow pages that does the job, let's get them to do it versus city. And for example, we inherited a city-owned trash business. We contracted it out. Everybody's bill went down about 30%. We contracted out landscaping, and the city cost went from about $500,000 a year to $180,000 a year, and they actually did a better job because there was an incentive there, because if you're a private company, you have to do a good job or they'll get somebody else to do it. So it's worked very well. And we negotiated an agreement with TRW to create the Marine Avenue Park, which actually made this project here in Manhattan Studios possible, because when they wanted to build the studios, we had already agreed on zoning, and they could move right in and start building. And it was really, so all of this stuff was really exciting. We bought the railroad right away from Santa Fe and made it permanent open space. So it was a very exciting time. I was very lucky to be serving during that time with a lot of really, really good people. I believe that serving on the city council, local politics, is not really politics, it's community service. George Washington, after 2 terms, quit because he said it shouldn't be a dictatorship, it shouldn't be like a king. It should be work for a while and then let somebody else do the job. If 2 terms were enough for George Washington, they were enough for me. I resigned, or I didn't run for a 3rd term, and I believe in term limits for local and government employees. But after I got off the council, I was on the Chamber of Commerce, and that's after I went to work for Body Glove in 1990. And I became president of the Chamber of Commerce, which I'm very proud of also, because we started the Leadership Manhattan Beach program when I was president, and it's been very successful. But I still am president of Dive and Surf, and I run that company. And as far as being involved in the city, not so much on a, quote, formal basis, but people still ask me to get involved on help on projects. Right now I'm helping to support Measure MB to extend the parcel tax for the schools for another 6 years, because I think it's important, because we have really good schools. I will admit I don't agree with everything that's being taught, but overall they produce really good students and do a great job. The biggest concern I have is the fact that social media has stopped some of the interactive, interpersonal connections that we have with friends and neighbors, and I think that's not a good thing. Crime is a problem. My biggest concern right now about crime is we need to get a new district attorney, period, end of story. It's a disaster, especially in Manhattan Beach, because he won't allow us to get our own prosecutor. So it makes crime much more rampant than it does in other cities as far as minor crimes such as shoplifting, etc. Because people know they can come to Manhattan Beach and shoplift, and they're not going to get prosecuted, period. They go to Hermosa Redondo, they will, because they have their own prosecutor. But Gascon won't allow us to have a prosecutor, and so he needs to be replaced. Another thing I forgot to mention is I'm very proud of the fact that we founded the Manhattan Beach 10K Run and in 1978. And that kind of leads into that, because that race is all about community, and we've done tests, and it's the highest participating local resident participating race in the country that we're aware of. And it's because Manhattan Beach today, even today, is a small town. Neighbors know each other. They're friends. They work together well. Remember how blessed and how lucky they are to be able to live in such a fabulous place. And keep it that way by getting to know your neighbors as friends and keeping it a small town atmosphere where people watch out for each other, and life will continue to be good for years to come in Manhattan Beach.